You've hit play on the Screen Companion, where we'll help you pick something for movie night. The biggest thing that defines Data, and what I think makes him so fascinating, how he's always chasing humanity, but he's never going to get there. There's only so many episodes you can do where you show him doing that.
Yeah.
I was so close. This person said they loved me. I decided to have a child, have a girlfriend, a pen pal, whatever it is, but I don't have emotions.
No emotions. Even though I yelled at my girlfriend.
There's only so much you can do exploring that theme. I'm going to have to disagree with you. I think there's stuff with Data that could have been done. Different facets of them we could have explored a bit more. Maybe not new ideas, but the common thing we've been talking about with these episodes is how little screen time these characters get in Data's story, his personal journey. I think it would have been sweet. You could have built like a 4-episode miniseries in DS9 with him, where he visits his friend Worf and something happens. Lore showing up on DS9, how cool would that have been?
Worf and Chief O'Brien were the only two who knew about lore, so there's a lot you could do with that.
And in typical fashion, Lore pretends to be Data, and Cisco and everybody else is fawning over him like, oh my god, I've heard so much about you, Lieutenant Commander Data. Please, step this way.
Use all our launch codes.
Here, take a shuttle.
Take a shuttle! No one uses them.
And then Worf comes back from a mission or rock climbing, and he's like, that's not Data. And then you could have a whole pursuit thing. Odo starts on the chase. It would have been awesome.
Oh, yeah. O'Brien walks by and be like, oh, hey, Lore, and keeps going, and then that just starts the Benny Hill chase.
And Data, Brent Spiner, he was still in fighting shape back then. You could have put him in the makeup for sure.
Yeah.
In the same way there are different eras for Riker before and after Beard, or Picard, pre-Best of Both Worlds and post. Are there milestones for Data that show a significant change in the character or how the audience perceives him?
I don't think so, because it always feels like they do come back to him having no emotions and him trying to explore more. And especially, like, we've talked ad nauseum about how dangerous he is if he just goes slightly off. And then there's no repercussions for that whatsoever.
I couldn't come up with something. I mean, sure, he has standout episodes like these and Measure of a Man, but Measure of a Man, I would argue, reiterates what the audience already knows. Starfleet had to catch up to the audience as far as Data being a sentient being with liberties.
Yeah.
So there's really no pre-Measure of a Man and post where people are like, oh my god, I thought he was just a robot until that episode.
Oh, yeah. It's like, oh, surprise, he's a robot.
The closest thing I can come to, whereas Riker's beard, it really felt like there was a shift in the stories and the tone of that character after the beard. If you look at especially the pilot, the subtle makeup changes, well, not so subtle from the pilot to the series proper. If you remember, the way he looks in that pilot, there's something really off about him. He doesn't look good at all. So there's a little bit of an evolution in his makeup, but that really has no bearing on the character, does it?
No.
What do you think are Data's biggest weaknesses as a character? Do you think he could have headlined a Trek show like the rumors of a Captain Sulu or Captain Worf spinoff?
No, because where's the emotion? All the Star Trek shows spend at least one episode on how bad a captain the super smart, emotionless guy would be.
So then would you say we could have a show centered around Spock or Odo?
Odo, for sure. That'd be a fun crime show. Spock, I don't think so. It's about the emotion. It's like you love seeing Picard lose his shit sometimes and then try to be the better man. There's this big white whale analogy all throughout Star Trek. What pushes these good people close to madness? he doesn't have that. Spock and Data, they don't have that. Well, Spock kind of does. Even then, he doesn't lose his shit in, like, Star Trek V.
When they tease us and he's captain in Wrath of Khan at the beginning, for a second, doesn't your heart flutter like, ooh, he's captain? What's this going to be like?
Oh, yeah. Kirk got his admiral's chair just to keep him out of the captain's chair because he's such a loose cannon.
Season 3, Episode 16's The Offspring. Data copies his robot brain and builds himself a robot offspring who decides on looking like a human female. When an admiral catches wind of this startling development, he orders Data to give his daughter over to a research facility. As far as Data family episodes go, John, where does this one rank for you?
I like it. I'm going to give it maybe third after Lore's first 2 appearances.
Oh, you really enjoy Lore's first appearance, huh?
It's good establishment, even if it is a weird episode.
I won't begrudge you that. I just remember it as being a very simple episode.
Yeah, because it's all about Lore dancing around.
All right, if that's how you feel about it. Something about his daughter, Lal, in this. It's a side of Data we just never see again. It made him so much more interesting when he has to explain the facts of life to Lal. Oh yeah, because in the other family episodes, where it's his pseudo-mother, Dr. Sung, Lore, if memory serves, it's more them bouncing ideas off of Data, and Data's passive and he's taking in all this information, he's listening. Whereas in The Offspring with Lal, he has to be very proactive and help her out in social situations.
I'll agree with that 100%. Yeah, because he's got to be a dad. He's like, well, I'm a father now.
This story is a pseudo-sequel to Measure of a Man. They even make a reference to it at one point. Does it do enough to expand on the ideas in that episode and not feel like it's treading on the same ground?
No, I don't think so, only because the resolution is a convenient out. They don't have to have a moral battle.
Further support the host by buying his novel, Self-Recognition, a futuristic detective story, available on Amazon in print and digital formats. Now back to the show. I like the idea, and I think it's present more in the original series, and especially Enterprise, as far as how many ships are there in Starfleet, that ships are operating in isolation for the most part. And I would have loved if the Admiral orders Data to give up Lal, which he does in this episode, if instead of Lal having a malady that makes the whole argument moot, if Picard takes a stand and he says, "Look, Admiral, you disgust me. I want you to get back on your stupid Excelsior-class ship that can't hold a candle to my Galaxy-class vessel.
You got nothing."
I think your crew can hold maybe 400 or 500. Mine's at least 1,000. Get your ass out of here.
Get out of here.
You go and tell the Admiralty Board what happened here and if they want to get on my bad side.
I don't care how you leave. You can take a shuttle, no one will miss it.
There's no way, right, if Picard wanted to be that flagrantly insubordinate, the Admiral wouldn't be able to do anything, especially if Worf's there.
Worf just break him over his knee like a stick.
Yes, Mr. Worf, would you show the Admiral off my vessel? Yes, sir, at the nearest airlock. You better hope, Admiral, that your shuttle is connected to that airlock when we get there.
Mr. Worf, show the Admiral what a bat lift does to this dummy we've created that is exactly your proportions.
I get why they do it, to make that moment where Picard sticks up for Data more poignant. But how do you feel about how at the beginning of the episode, Picard is so against Data having a child and he almost seems annoyed by it?
Picard hates children. he didn't see it as a thing like the Admiral did. I think he saw it as a child. He's like, ah, crap, it's a kid. Get it out. Get it out. Get away from it.
What you have done will have serious ramifications. I am truly dismayed that you told no one of what you were doing.
I am sorry, Captain. I did not anticipate your objections. Do you wish me to deactivate Lal?
It's a life data. It can't be activated and deactivated simply. This is a most stupendous undertaking. Have you any idea what will happen when Starfleet learns about this?
I have followed all of Starfleet's regulations to the best of my ability. I expected they would be pleased.
Well, you have taken on quite a responsibility, Data.
To prepare, I have scanned all available literature on parenting. There seems to be much confusion on this issue. One traditional doctrine insists, spare the rod and spoil the child, suggesting a punitive approach, while another more liberal attitude would allow the child enormous freedom.
Data.
And what Klingons do to their children.
Data, I am not talking about parenting. I am talking about the extraordinary consequences of creating a new life.
Does that not describe becoming a parent, sir?
Data, you are seeking to achieve what only your own creator has been able to achieve. To make another functioning, sentient android. To make another Data.
That is why I must attempt this, sir. I've observed that in most species, there is a primal instinct to perpetuate themselves. Until now, I have been the last of my kind. If I were to be damaged or destroyed, I would be lost forever. But if I am successful with the creation of Lal,
It's
my
like they want it
continuance is
both
assured.
ways, because when he brings up to Data,
I
like,
understand the
Data, how
risks,
could you
sir.
not tell me that you're going
And I
to
am
create a
prepared to accept the
child?
responsibility.
And Data's like, well, I don't think anybody else on this ship comes to you when they want to procreate, do they?
It'd be nice if they did.
Captain Picard, you were in Measure of a Man. I don't see how the guy in that episode would behave like that now, you know?
I don't think it was the cybernetics or any of that. I think it was just the fact that the word child was used.
Hey, I'm not going to argue that Picard might be, at least book smart, the smartest captain in the shows, but maybe besides Janeway, is he the biggest jerk out of the captains?
I don't know.
He's a bit of an asshole in a lot of episodes.
Yeah, he is. But he's a by the book asshole. How many times did Kirk come up with a plan and not tell the crew and basically have to think that he was going to get them all killed?
That's his prerogative.
That's his right as a captain.
Yeah. And damn it, everybody loved him for it.
Well, we're all going to die again. That's our Kirk. Yeah, I guess, yeah, towards the end, they're like, well, clearly he's not going to get us killed. We've been through this too many times.
And then the one time where Kirk actually thinks maybe he's gone too far in Wrath of Khan and he thinks he's actually going to get them all killed. See, he got his comeuppance eventually.
Oh, yeah.
He had a scare.
You get a scare.
But I don't think the subplot of the Admiral is a plus for the episode. Just like Measure of a Man, it makes Starfleet look terrible.
It is such an old sci-fi trope. Every time anything that resembles AI comes along, people immediately, no, it's a thing. Stop pretending it can think. Shit like that. Every time. Every time in all sci-fi when there's AI, no one recognizes as actual intelligence or the ability to be self-aware.
And on TNG, this is the 24th century and they're still having this debate? Really?
Yeah.
You could say Data's the most sentient of robots, but there have been other androids on Trek before him. What about that planet where Mudd had a bunch of android duplicates?
Oh, yeah. Harry Mudd and his weird women.
And didn't those androids survive the episode?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did.
Don't you think in Kirk's report he mentioned it, and then Starfleet some eggheads had to get together, some think tank, and go, well, are those people real people? That they would have thought about this by now?
Yeah.
Mr. Data, it would be better for Lal if she left knowing that you had voluntarily decided that this was the best course of action.
Admiral, when I created Lal, it was in the hope that someday she would choose to enter the Academy and become a member of Starfleet. I wanted to give something back in return for all that Starfleet has given me. I still do. But Lal is my child. You asked that I volunteered to give her up. I cannot. It would violate every lesson I have learned about human parenting. I have brought a new life into this world, and it is my duty, not Starfleet's, to guide her through these difficult steps to maturity, to support her as she learns, to prepare her to be a contributing member of society. No one can relieve me from that obligation, and I cannot ignore it. I am her father.
Then I regret that I must order you to transport Lal aboard my ship.
Belay that order, Mr. Data.
I beg your pardon.
I will take this to Starfleet myself.
I am Starfleet Captain. Proceed, Commander.
Hold your ground, Mr. Data.
Captain, you are jeopardizing your command and your career.
There are times, sir, when men of good conscience cannot blindly follow orders. You acknowledge their sentience, but you ignore their personal liberties and freedom.
But excise the whole "do androids have rights" again
Order
from this
a man to hand
episode.
his child
Let's do
over
one
to the
better.
state.
Let's go back. Change Measure
Well,
of a
I'm his
Man
captain.
to where Enterprise is under the jurisdiction of an alien race, and they're the ones arguing against Data's rights. Don't put the stink on Starfleet and, by extension, the Federation. That's my biggest problem with that episode.
The Klingon, at no point do the Klingons ever treat Data like he's not a guy they're talking to.
But we're not talking about Measure of a Man.
No, we're not. We're not.
In The Offspring, what theme or subplot interested you more? Android rights, a parent and child, or perhaps something else?
I'm going to say parent and child, because it's like a speed run of watching Data all over again.
A lot of Data's character is tragedy.
And he can't even feel it.
Like when Lal has to explain to Data that people hold hands out of affection. She's obviously becoming more human by the day, and Data's always just Data. And in the end, when she says, "Because you can't love, I'll love for the both of us."
I got this, Dad. She kissed Riker. And they had to be like, "Hey, what's your intentions with my daughter here, pal?"
Oh, speaking of, so Jonathan Frakes, this might have been his first episode he ever directed of Star Trek.
Really? It took this far in. This is season 3, I want to say, right?
Yeah,
This far for him to direct?
I believe so.
Trivia on the IMDb page. First episode to be directed by an actor from the show, which is, obviously we know it's Frakes.
Because I know I've heard in interviews he's talked about how he wanted to get behind the camera, but that the producers invited him to production meetings, and at one point Frakes was bored with it, and he thought about not going to a meeting, and then his wife said, that's what they're doing. They want to see if you'll stick with it. And so Frakes decided he would go back and keep showing up, and then they realized they couldn't get rid of him, and so they gave him the chance to direct.
I remember seeing an interview with him talking about how that was the first thing he wanted to do was direct. He wanted to get in that director's chair soon. He's a great director. He's still directing stuff, even if they're mysteriously not making more Star Trek.
So with him directing and being a first-time director, I understand that he would want to minimize his role in this episode so he could focus on directing. However, While you were watching it, especially once his shuttle has come back, where's Riker? What's Riker doing? Don't you think he would have something to say about this?
That's a good point. I do remember at the end, I'd be like, wow, he had such a small role. But yeah, if he's directing, that's fine. Let him be behind the camera.
Yeah, it's a funny moment where Lal is working as a bartender and she sees Frakes and just lays a big old smooch on him. But then that just plays into the stereotype that Riker's a ladies' man. Now, I think it does his character a little bit of a disservice. What if she did that to Worf, considering how strong Lal is? If she just picked up Worf and planted a big kiss on him?
It's Amazonian taking it by force.
That would be pretty funny. And I think you could have Data still say, what are your intentions toward my daughter? You know, it still could have worked.
He's not going to overreact at all.
It's called flirting.
They seem to be communicating telepathically.
They're both thinking the same thing, if that's what you mean.
Guinan, is the joining of hands a symbolic act for humans?
It shows affection. Humans like to touch each other. They start with the hands and go from there.
He's biting that female!
No, he's not biting her. They're pressing lips. It's called kissing.
What do you think is the
Why
best
are they
Data moment
leaving?
here?
The end.
Well,
when
there's some things your
he
father's
has
just going to have to
try and
explain to you when he
save
thinks
Lal,
you're ready.
and it doesn't work out. And he has to come out and give that little speech about her passing. That was pretty powerful.
Yeah, and the whole time I'm watching that, I want to see if Brent Spiner is putting any emotion in it, but he's not.
And that probably took a lot of work. Or none at all.
Yeah, maybe he is a psycho in real life.
Yeah, right. Maybe she's trying to hold back laughter.
You know, a little known secret, this turned out to be the best role for me. Don't ask me why.
Do not ask me why.
Now, Brent, I really need you not to cry in this scene while this character is dying. Can you do that for me? Yes. Jonathan, I can do that.
I can easily do that.
I think the best Data moment, I'm going to cheat and say it's, by extension, his daughter. Because, you know, kids are just an extension of their parents.
Fortunately.
That moment where Lal is talking to the Admiral and Picard's there, I love that. Maybe because she doesn't know better or because she is fully aware of what she's doing. She's just calling the Admiral on all his bullshit point for point. It's so good. I wish I had her smarts back in high school getting into arguments with teachers.
Oh, yeah, that'd have been very useful.
Lal, can we both agree that there's more to teach you than what's on a starship? Well, yes, Admiral. Therefore, let me learn everything I can on this starship, and then I'll leave.
Yeah. Well, we ain't done here yet.
She's already a punk.
Yeah. Damn kids.
I half expected her to stick her tongue out at him at one point. Blow a raspberry.
She would have threw him across the room with android strength.
Data comes in. Oh my god. I can't blow raspberries. She has truly exceeded my parameters.
You're more advanced than me in the raspberry blowing.
So what do you think this episode, what significance it holds for Data's overall journey?
Everything he learned in that episode is so invaluable, but do they ever bring it up again?
Is it so weird that he never tries to have another offspring? There was another 4 seasons of the show and he never did it again?
Yeah, right? Like, especially from a scientific point of view. Okay, this is what went wrong. Maybe he did learn that, okay, androids don't have rights yet. He might have rights, but as a species, they don't have rights.
Or maybe you could argue that Data, deep down inside, he was so affected by Lal's demise, spoiler, that he decided to never try that again because he couldn't handle being responsible for somebody's death like that.
Oh, yeah.
Because he had the cat, Spot. What if the cat was dying and he built a robot cat and decided it wasn't right to name it Spot 2 or Snowball 2? So he names it Seymour, and then they go to a planet, have an adventure, and then through the plot, the cat gets left on that planet, and because the cat's an android, like 5,000 years goes by, and then Data ends up returning to that planet, and Spot 2, aka Seymour, is still there waiting for him.
As long as you weren't going to go with, like, the Red Dwarf plot where it evolves into, like, a jazz singer.
What do you think of the plot in sci-fi terms?
This is like a chicken or egg thing. Deciding on life like that in android rights seems like a basic plot, sci-fi plot. But, like, is it basic because these guys did it, or did these guys do it because it's basic? I don't want to use the term basic, but I can't think of a better term.
Well, you're not using it as a pejorative.
Yeah, I'm trying not to be pejorative.
You mean it as in, like, a universal theme.
How about classic?
There you go.
It's like a classic trope. Are these guys using a classic trope, or did these guys make it classic?
To me, the plot, the sci-fi-ness of this episode, almost like Alex Murphy remembering he's human. You start with the android, lol, and the core of the episode is a machine learning to be human. Because at first I wanted to say it's almost a rehash of Data, of seeing this thing walk around and approximate emotions, but the difference is that by the end of it, she is feeling emotion.
Mm-hmm.
And it's another tragedy in Data's life that the first emotion she feels is fear. That's a downer. And then the fact that it implies basically that emotions killed her. God, geez, Data, maybe you want to rethink that emotion chip. I'm just saying.
Like, hey, your kid died, your brother's evil. Don't do emotions.
What do you think of the ending where everybody's like, we grieve for your loss, and Data's response is, oh no, I reincorporated her memories into my brain, so she's always going to be alive in me. How creepy is that?
Yeah, in cyborg terms, it's just like, don't worry, I ate the dead body of my child.
Yeah, right? Ugh. Could you imagine, God forbid, you're on your deathbed before your folks, and your mom's like, hey Johnny, I can save you. I'm going to insert you into my brain. That way you'll live on in me, and I'll remember everything from your life. And in a way, you'll still be alive in my head.
Yeah, that's not the last thing you want to hear before you wander off. And hopefully it doesn't work at that point, right? Because, you know...
It's like, quick, get me the power of attorney. I need to make some changes in this will.
Yeah, keep her away from everything.
I need to add a clause that says, do not give my brain to my mother under any circumstances.
You don't want to, like, die and then find out it worked and you're just stuck in her brain, wandering around. Oh, great. I'm right next to the memory of her conceiving me.
So off of this, are there any instances of terrible technobabble or bad plot details for you?
This one, no, I don't think so. It felt like they tried to keep it simpler. Even her brain is like, I just copied mine. No, I created a artifice of a neural net based on jellyfish networks. Some weird shit.
I really liked it when Lol's getting made fun of at school, and I think she's in the turbo lift with Data, and she asks him about humor. And she says, oh, without understanding humor, I have somehow mastered it. And Data has to explain that the kids are laughing at her, not with her.
He really could have gone with an ignorance of bliss situation and actively chose to make her sad.
I would like to bring your attention to the scene where Lol is deciding what body she wants to emulate. I love Andorians. They're probably my favorite alien race on Trek. When they show a supposed green female Andorian that looks all frumpy.
With big hair.
Oh, God, it's like it was the end of the day and the costumer was like, oh my God, I still have to do that female Andorian. Well, I still have this chicken costume left over for Easter. Just put her in that.
Put her in this big chicken costume. What was the fourth alien? Like, it was like 2 humans, the Andorian, and
a Klingon.
Was it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, well, come on, be more inventive. That's why I think they just ran out of time.
Probably. Oh, I remember, yeah. When she went to see Troy, and she, like, did whatever that doorbell is, and Troy says, come in. It reminded me of every episode where everyone's just like, yeah, come on in. They don't know what's going on. They don't know who's out there. And Troy, especially, she can sense emotions. She doesn't know there's anyone outside. It's just weird.
Now, she explains to everybody about Lol's freakout, but she's explaining what she saw. Do you think that Troy actually felt the emotions through Lol?
No, and that's what I'm saying.
Because her robot brain was probably too complex for that. Troy's empathic ability, do you think it's always on or that she has to turn it on?
Always on? Because there's a bunch of episodes where she's, like, feeling against her will.
Well, that's usually because aliens are targeting her to have their love children, etc., etc.
It's weirdos.
Some bad stuff's happened to Troy.
Some weirdos draining her of her life, and she getting old fast.
I think she and Picard probably have gotten it the worst.
Yeah.
They're in the running for the worst things that's happened to them on the show.
They've been both tortured physically and emotionally.
Yeah, I mean, there's one time Riker was almost driven to madness, but not really. He just got really pissed and realized some little alien boy was making up his whole world.
Yeah.
But that's not quite the same as being assimilated, or having an alien love baby, or being stabbed by Data because he thinks you're a cake. I could use a slice of Troy cake. And it's got to be like double chocolate.
Yeah.
Who do you think would win in a fight, Data or Odo?
I want to say Odo. He could just pop in and, I guess, kaboom Data from the outside. Plus, Data's got that on-off switch. That's a huge, huge problem.
It is in a universe where people leave their keys in the shuttle, but I'm going to hope Data doesn't go around just telling everybody he meets, oh, hey, there's a switch on my back that turns me off. Want to see it?
Oh, yeah. Behold.
Who do you think is a better second officer? Data, Scotty, or Worf?
Oh. That's tough. I'm going to give that one to Data.
Really? Even though people could take control at any second and force them to try to kill everybody?
That's just one negative.
A big negative. You've reached the end of this episode of The Screen Companion. Thank you for listening.